What's up, YouTube? PokePrimer here, primed and ready to deliver you our week number 5 matchup here in the Totally Average League. After this week, we are getting 3 free agency transactions, so you'll see some new free agency video after this week, win or lose, no matter what. So just fair warning on that. The team is going to be changing up for good. These will be the only other 3 changes we get. And it's hopefully going to benefit our team very greatly. But we are here taking on the Syracuse Slowbros, coached by youknowit. He is one of the admins of the league. He's one of Ethan's buddies who's helping him run it. So this should be very interesting. He has a really solid team. I don't know what his record is because very little is updated on the doc, but and I'm also too lazy to go to his page to see if he updated his, so that's neither here nor there. But his team is annoying, to say the very least. Really did not enjoy prepping for this at all. His team consists of Mega Audino, Jirachi, Tangrowth, Arcanine, Silvally, Druddigon, Dusclops, Keldeo, Landorus Incarnate form with Sandforce, Greninja with Torrent, and Rotom Mow. His Z Crystal users are Greninja and Jirachi as his offensive Z users, while Landorus Incarnate is his Super Z user, so he can use any Z moves. Which is always scary. Z Sandstorm, Lando Eye is like literally one of the most terrifying things in the universe to go up against, and I don't want to face it, so I'm really not looking forward to this matchup. He's got a lot of bulk on his team. Dusclops, Silvally, Arcanine, Tangrowth can pretty much, and Mega Audino can pretty much wall out most teams by themselves for the most part when put together the right way. This is going to be a really, really hard team to break through. But I think I have some strategies that can really help me do so in this match. So hopefully this will pan out for us. And we can pick up our first W in this league. Because I do want to start picking up Ws here. Regardless of the fact that this is one of my side leagues, I still want to try to do well. And I've been royally fucking up when it came to this league the past few weeks. I think I kind of like lulled myself into a sense of not caring. And I apologize for that if it came off as that. I didn't want it to end up that way. I just, I ended up putting up much more time into some of my other leagues because, I prioritized some of them a little bit higher, but I shouldn't, take priority away from this league either. I should still try my best on this. So, I put a lot of work into this prep. Hopefully it shows. Hopefully it works. We'll see what happens. And the first mon that I prepped is In Love With the Tapu Koko. We are going Electrium Z this week. Physical Koko, mostly physical, kind of mixed Koko. With Wild Charge, Brave Bird, Nature's Madness, and Dazzling Gleam. Max attack, we have enough speed to outspeed the Greninja. And then we just put the rest into our special attack stat. So, what we have here is a set that's built to, number 1, take out its switch-ins, which we can definitely do, and number 2, basically just wear him down and keep him on the back foot, which is why we have the Nature's Madness, and why we didn't go for a choice variant either. We have Nature's Madness so that anything he wants to try to switch into this, whether it be Arcanine, Silvally, Druddigon if he's crazy, Dusclops, Lando, whatever he wants to switch in, he won't, is taking that free 50% immediately, which is extremely good for me, because that will allow me to really tear through his team, and barring any Scarfers, I will outspeed those things and be able to take them out in the following turn, which is really, really nice. So, go through his team pretty much quickly. We have the Z Wild Charge. Z Wild Charge, the Gigavolt Havoc in the electric terrain from this thing, after a Nature's Madness, should take out pretty much anything that doesn't resist it. After Nature's Madness, it pretty much takes out everything that doesn't resist it. The only things on his team that do resist it are the Tangrowth, the Lando, obviously, the Rotom, and the Druddigon. And all of those things, I have ways of breaking outside. Tangrowth and Rotom both die to a Brave Bird after a Nature's Madness. No matter what the investment, I ran a bunch of different calcs to test this out, and Brave Bird does in fact KO the Tangrowth after the Nature's Madness, which is nice. So that's really, really important for this match, because Tangrowth is always annoying to face, so being able to just take that out is nice. If he brings Silvally, he's probably going to bring some type of Silvally that can stop my Go-Go. Probably Silvally Electric if he does bring it, which would be interesting to see. But that's a potential bring I think I could see. If the Arcanine comes in, even after the Intimidate, a Z Wild Charge will take it out after Nature's Madness, which is really great. Lando, I will just go for the Brave Bird or the Dazzling Gleam, just in case it tries to set up in my face, because I do have things that can take care of it, especially if it's that low. I can take care of it pretty much for free, if it does decide it wants to set up against us. So we're going to try to get that thing worn down as fast as we possibly can. And the Druddigon dies to a Dazzling Gleam, guaranteed after the Nature's Madness pops off. So he really doesn't have a free switch into this mon because of Nature's Madness this week, which is really nice and what's what I wanted, and it's definitely working in my favor. So really, really happy that Coco has such a good matchup this week. I think it'll be very, very effective for this matchup, and yeah. So on to the next one, being Mulan, a Choice Scarf Mienshao. This is our way of finishing off the Lando if it's the Z Sandstorm. So we have the Choice Scarf here, kind of also a mixed set as well. We have Drain Punch, HP Ice, Knockoff, and U-Turn. We have Drain Punch just because I don't want to get caught by any Protect shenanigans or nonsense like that. I'm on the high jump kick. I don't want a chance missing it. I'm not taking any unnecessary chances in this game. Plus, the HP recovery will be nice. We have the HP Ice because if the Lando goes for Z Sandstorm, it guaranteed dies to the HP Ice after the Nature's Madness hits it, or if it's taken a bit of chip, which I can definitely get a bit of chip on a Lando. So that's the plan there. We have the Knockoff. Knockoff will be very, very useful for getting rid of the items on his team and just overall fucking his shit up. You know, for those who play competitive Pokemon, y'all know how important items actually are. So it's a very, very big deal to get rid of those. And some of the mons on his team are actually really benefit from having their item. So I'm going to be getting rid of those ASAP when I can. And then U-Turn is just very important because it allows us to start scouting what his switch-ins to this are going to be. And then we can deal with things accordingly. That's pretty straightforward. Sorry about that, guys. Was checking out my roommate's senior project real quick. He's pretty cool. He's pretty pumped about it. But that's our Mulan set. On to our free hugs. We are giving out free hugs this week with our Ferrothorn, who may not be lasting on the team much longer because just not the biggest fan of Ferrothorn. But that's just me. Just don't like Ferrothorn at all. But we're going to try to get some usage out of him this week. We're bringing Stealth Rock, Knockoff, Toxic, and Spikes. Very, very easy set for his team to wall, but could be very effective. He does have a decent amount of hazard removal options, because he's got Defog Lando, he's got Defog Rotom Wash, he's got Defog so volley potential, but I want to force him to have to go for those defogs by constantly trying to do hazard stack on him. Like every time Pharaoh hits the field, more than likely I'm clicking Stealth Rock or clicking Spikes. That's going to be like the 99% of the time. Clicking some form of hazard, or clicking Knockoff or clicking Toxic. Force him to defog. And we'll see how that goes. We're going with a fully specially defensive build because a lot of his team is more than likely going to be running random hidden power to try to break through me. Things like Tangrowth. Odino potentially running Flamethrower. Shit like that, you know. Potentially even Keldeo. Well, Keldeo will probably just run Sacred Sword. But I just wanted as much SPDF as possible so I could take as many hits as possible on that side. This thing works as a pretty good SPDF wall against his team. So, could be very useful. And if I can get some things toxic, that could be really, really nice. So, hopefully that works out in our favor. Pretty straightforward set, nothing too crazy, but I figured I'd use it since it's probably the last week we're going to have it. Next up we have Hard Body, the Reuniclus, Assault Vest, Regenerator, fully physically defensive, however, with that Assault Vest, making it ridiculously bulky on both sides. Psychic, Knockoff, Shadow Ball, and Focus Blast. I have the Knockoff because I want to get rid of that Dusclops Eviolite. That to me is extremely important in this match. So that's going to be a priority. That's why I have the Knockoff on both Pharaoh and Reuniclus and Mulan as well. And I actually have it, I think, on 2 more Mons on my team, if I remember correctly, from when I built this last night. Excuse me. We have Psychic just for stab. It hits most of his team extremely hard. Barring, obviously, the Greninja and the Rachi. We have Knockoff to get rid of the items from things that don't want to have items, especially that Dusclops. We have Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is going to be there to hit that Rachi and smack that Dusclops as hard as it can. Then we pack Focus Blast because I feel like Focus Blast is the better move to go with for Greninja, although actually, I'm going to change that to Signal Beam just because I don't want the chance to miss. Yeah, I don't want that chance to miss, so we're going to go with Signal Beam there. I think that'll be much more beneficial. But I think this will be a really, really solid set for us this week. So I'm really looking forward to using it. I do love AP Regen Reuniclus. We do have our nice Regen core here between this and Mulan. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how well it works out for us. Next up we have What Am I? The Armaldo, also potentially Amon leaving. Its defensive spread makes no sense, and that's for a reason because I did it like 4 in the morning. But it's basically just here to keep hazards off the field for us. Rapid Spin, Knockoff, Stone Edge and X Scissor, just dual stab, plus Rapid Spin and knock off. Knock off, obviously, to get rid of the Eviolite on that Dusclops. Once again. And just get rid of any items. X Scissor to break through things like the Tangrowth. Stone Edge to hit things like the Arcanine. Etc., etc. Very, very straightforward set. Literally just threw in defense EVs, but then made it adamant because I wanted to. That's the bottom line of it, I guess. Just to put it mildly, but yeah. Yeah! Really, really happy with this set. Not really. I just threw this one together, I'm not going to lie. I was like 4 o'clock in the morning when I built this team, so it's fine. This will do nicely because it should be able to take hits decently well on both sides. And should be able to do decent work in this match. The last one we're bringing is straight tripping our Alolan Muck, and this is not a capital S, and that upsets me. There we go. We're bringing Assault Vest Muck this week. So double AV. We're bringing Adamant Nature 44 into Spadef. Although I'm actually going to chop that down just a tiny tad bit. Just so I can speed creep the Audino. So I'm pretty sure Mega Audino is base 50? Pretty sure it's base 50. Base 50, yeah. So we can potentially just speed creep it with that, and we should be good to go. And just smack that thing with a Poison Jab or a Gunk Shot, which is nice. I want to be able to hit that thing as hard as possible. Obviously, we also have the Poison Touch ability to potentially get poisons on Mons that try to come in and switch in on this. We have the knockoff there for again getting rid of items, breaking through Mons like that. And then we have Pursuit. If we can get in the right situation, potentially against the Jirachi, we can potentially Pursuit Trap it, which would be nice. I would like to Pursuit Trap a Jirachi. It may not work. It may work. I don't know. We'll see. We could also potentially Pursuit Trap the Dusclops if he decides to switch. If he's in range of knockoff, we can go for Pursuit instead. So we can instead just trap him, kill him, and be done with it. But I feel like this set will be very, very effective for us this week. I do like Alolan Muck in this matchup. Makes things a lot easier for us, I think, in the long run. And yeah, but that'll be it for this team. We're going to hop into the battle now, and hope you guys enjoy. Let's go. Alright guys, we have our Week 5 battle here against youknowit and the Syracuse Slowbros. We are bringing Mienshao, Ferrothorn, and Armaldo for the last time, as you saw in our team builder. Well, you haven't seen the free agency yet, but these three are no longer a part of our team, so I brought them for their final matchup. We're also bringing Tapu Koko, Reuniclus, and Alolan Muck, and our opponent brought his Arcanine, Torrent Greninja, Jirachi, Lando, the Silvally, and the Dusclops. So let's get into this. He's going to lead Arcanine, I'm going to lead with my Mienshao, which obviously is not a great matchup. I'm going to U-turn out immediately. And I'm going to go out into my Reuniclus. He's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp and miss, which is fine. I'm just going to go for a knockoff here, which is nice, and I'm going to be able to hit the incoming Dusclops, which is even better. I get rid of this thing's Eviolite immediately. So I'm going to get the Spadef drop and 41% off on this Dusclops, which is awesome. I'm actually going to go ahead for a Psychic here, because I know it can kill, and I know it'll do the most to anything, so I'm going to get a Psychic off on this Arcanine, which is big damage, and I'm going to knock off its leftovers, which is good. So, since I'm regen, I'm obviously going to switch out here and get back all my HP. As he's going to Will-O-Wisp my Armaldo, and that's perfectly fine. Armaldo really doesn't do a lot for me in this matchup. I go for the Stone Edge here, and I miss, which kind of blows. Like, by kind of blows, I mean really blows. I'm starting to kind of think, alright, he does that damage. Looking like Adamant Scarp, but I'm not sure yet. So I'll go for the Stone Edge here on the Jirachi. I'm going to go ahead now for... he's going to go for a U-turn as well. He's just going to U-turn shit around me, and I'm going to go for a knockoff, trying to catch the Jirachi. Unfortunate, I cannot. He's going to Flare Blitz me now, though, and take some recoil damage, so I'm actually going to go for a Stone Edge. which is going to do negligible damage because I am burned, and -1. But he's just going to heal himself up as I go for another Stone Edge, and I'm going to miss the Stone Edge on the incoming Jirachi, which doesn't really matter much. It wouldn't have done a lot of damage, but chip damage is chip damage. He's going to kill me with an Iron Head, and that's fine. I go out to a Alolan Muck, and I'm going to Pursuit Trap this thing, get some big fucking damage off on this Jirachi, and that is all well and good. Part of me wishes I had actually just clicked Knockoff there, because it turns out later in the game that this is Adamant Scarf. So if I had gone for the Knockoff, I could have A, potentially gotten a Poison on the Lando, and B, I would have gotten rid of its Scarf, and the thing would have been... I would have won this game. If I had clicked Knockoff instead of Pursuit, if I hadn't been so power-hungry to Pursuit Trap the Jirachi, I would have won this game. But, unfortunately, we did not. So we're going to go out into Ferrothorn here on this Lando. We're going to go ahead for a Toxic, as we're going to hit this incoming Dusclops, which is great. He's going to go for the Pain Split, which sucks dick, but we're going to set up our rocks. And we ended up in a bit of a sequence here, where I'm just trying to get up my hazards and everything else. And he's just, and I'm going to Toxic this Silvally here as well. I'm just trying to get up any spikes or stealth rocks I can. I actually Toxic the... this is a cool play. I predicted him to Morning Sun, so I went for the Toxic on the Arcanine, which I ended up getting right, which is really great. So I'm going to go out now into the Reuniclus on the incoming Flare Blitz that I know is coming, which is great. He's going to actually go out to Dusclops here, take the Rocks damage, find my Assault Vest once again with that Frisk, and I'm going to go for the Psychic. He's still in range, so I'm going to go for a second Psychic and just kill off the Dusclops, and that thing is now gone. Great. That is what I wanted. That is what I needed. So now we go out to Ferrothorn, and he's going to go for the Defog, which is fine. We're just out here trying to stall out his poison. He's going to go for the Parting Shot here. GTFO, and I'm going to set up a layer of spikes. This turn, I'm going to go for the Knockoff on this Jirachi, who's going to set up a Wish. I'm going to get rid of its leftovers. I'm going to now go for a second layer of spikes. He's going to get his Wish back, and there's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to get my third layer of spikes. He's going to go back out to the Silvally Electric. On the turn, I set up Stealth Rocks. So I have all my hazards up now, but this forces him to defog and get rid of his rocks, which is perfectly fine by me. So I'm just going to set up another layer of spikes. He's going to Parting Shot out now into his Greninja. He's going to take that spikes damage. I'm going to set up another layer of spikes. He's going to go for a Taunt on me, which is unfortunate because I did go for the Toxic on him. He's going to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes, which kind of gets annoying. I'm just going to go for the Knockoff here, though. Just going to get rid of his Focus Sash, which is nice. I'm going to go for an Ice Beam on my Reuniclus switch in, which is totally okay because I'm going to switch right back out into Ferrothorn, who's going to eat this Dark Pulse, which is good. I literally went into Reuniclus predicting like an Ice Beam or something like that, or scouting for like HP Fire, and it turned out that it was not HP Fire, but it worked out well. But I'm going to go for the U-turn here on my Mienshao. Again, another instance where I wish I'd clicked Knockoff versus any other move. Because if I, at any point in this matchup, had gotten the Scarf off of this Landorus, like, I prioritized going for Toxic here. I should have clicked Knockoff and tried to scout and see. I was so convinced at this point in the match, like, that he was either Scarfed or Z. And I did not capitalize on the potential of being Scarfed and go for the Knockoff to scout. If I'd gone for the Knockoff any time and scouted, I would have been perfectly fine, because then I would have easily been able to beat it in the end of the game, in the end game with one of these two mons. So, very unfortunate. But he's just going to be bouncing out in and out here with his mons. I'm going to go for the Psychic here on the incoming Silvally. Obviously, he's going to defog here, get rid of those spikes, which actually gets rid of the Toxic Spike on my side, which is really good for me. And he's going to go out now into his Greninja, and obviously his Dark Pulse is going to be able to kill me from this range, so I'm going to actually go out to my Mienshao, who, again, well, I go for the U-turn here. I'm actually able to U-turn out here, and I'm able to go out into my Tapu Koko. Now I'm going to go for a Dazzling Gleam and kill off this Greninja. And then he's going to go out to his Landorus. I'm still convinced that this thing is Scarfed. He's going to be able to kill my Hard Body here, unfortunately. So I'm going to go out to my Scarf Mienshao, who has the HP Ice! And I'm going to go for the HP Ice! But he's going to go out to his Arcanine, and now he knows I have HP Ice. Which really sucks. But that's fine. I make a bold prediction and go out into Tapu Koko, as he's going to go for the Morning Sun. Now,
this works out really nicely for me because I'm going to be able to get this Gigavolt Havoc off, and by Arcanine, I'm going to Wild Charge this Jirachi, and it's going to do a massive boatload of damage. This was a misplay. This turn right here was an absolute misplay, because I should have known he was going to go into Landorus, predicted me to Wild Charge, try to kill the Jirachi, and gone for a Brave Bird over the Dazzling Beam, because Brave Bird actually did more damage overall, and actually had a chance to kill him from this range. And after the toxic damage, he would have been in range to be killed by Knockoff. But unfortunately, or like after the Wish came through, he would have been in range for me to be able to kill him with a Knockoff. Because you're going to see here, he takes the 18% total from that. And look at that! He would have been in range. Would have been in range for the Knockoff to kill, and then Knockoff would have been able to kill the Jirachi. But that misplay definitely cost me. But now we have 3 new team members to our team, which I'm going to go over in a separate video shortly. But we are 0-5 for the first time ever in our time playing League format. We are 0-5. I've never had this low of a record ever in any league. It's really upsetting, but this league is for fun. I have to keep reminding myself of that. And hopefully with these new swaps, we can do a lot better in the coming weeks. But with that, though, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer, signing out.